Hello and welcome back to OG Cars. You joined me in a car which featured on the channel at the beginning of the year, and until now we've not really had a chance to do a proper video on it. But today the sun's shining at last and I've got a day off work, so let's have a walk around of my low mileage Skoda Favorit 136LS. So here he is. This is Henry. So Henry appeared in one of our first videos of the year where we went all the way up to near Loughborough to pick him up, and he is a 1990 Skoda Favorit 136LS. And from after picking it up, we've learned that this is probably one of the oldest surviving Skoda Favorites in the UK. So he's on a H-Reg and he is a late 1990s car, and cars this early, they're just not around anymore, unfortunately. Apologies, I just had to move because someone decided to come and park right next to where I was filming, which is great. But anyway, the reason I had to buy this car, as you may already know, was due to the mileage. So if I just stick my phone in here, that is the original mileage from new, so 9,744 miles. And the interior itself really does reflect the mileage. The interior on the car is immaculate, but the exterior, you'd probably think it's done a lot more. So let's just quickly run through the problems with this car. So we're at the front of the car, so let's start with the front of the car. So it's probably not showing up, but there's an ever so slight dent in the front grille, which, to be honest, I'm probably going to leave. I'm not too worried about it, but you can probably see that there is a little dent in the front bumper here, and it has cracked the plate. Luckily, I've managed to source a brand new front bumper, so I've got a new front bumper to go on the car. Next up is this wing, which is really not very good, as you can probably tell. I think the old owner has tried to filler it and paint it and tried to save it, but thanks to Vernon, I have got a full new front wing to go on this car, so that wing can be replaced. I don't remember. No, see, the wing on this side is much better than the one on the other side, so that will be okay. You can probably also see when they've tried to fix this, they've oversprayed onto the light a little bit, and for some reason there's blue paint dripping here as well. I've got plenty of spare headlights, so we'll just replace the headlights on that. That is fine. I started to do this, which nearly every single Favourite I've owned does, but I'm just going to paint it because I like to keep the original Skoda wing mirrors on this car, just to keep with the originality of it as well. If we just come round to the back quickly. Apologies, I did not notice this until I left the house, so my bad. There's a dent here, so the previous owner told us that the guy who had owned it from you, he reversed into a post, took out this new light. Gosh, he took out this light, which is why that light is new. But there's a dent here, and as you can probably see, there's tape here because he cracked the rear bumper. I have also got a rear bumper to go on the car, so new rear bumper, new front bumper, they are ready to go on. And with this dent, I'm going to see if it can be taken out, but if not, I've got a replacement boot lid to go on the car as well. Now, just moving on to a few things that need to be fixed by this car's next MOT, and unfortunately they are rust related. So if you're looking here, you can see that this is pretty bad. So the plan is to get this whole arch sorted, and for now I will probably just under seal, and then what I will do is eventually get this repainted. And the same is on this side, but it's not as bad as the other side. But yeah, you can just see that there is unfortunately rust, which is quite surprising because this car has been garaged, but ultimately Favourites are quite prone to rust, so it's not a huge surprise. And then also the exhaust has a big old hole in it underneath, so it's very likely I'm going to get a new exhaust fitted on the car, but it isn't looking its best, and ultimately I do want to get this car back into sort of a factory condition because with that mileage it really does deserve it. Just while I'm mentioning the mileage again, I do also just want to point out that I am not using this car. I have done about 250 miles in it since I bought it. I would really like to keep it under 10,000 miles though, so it is probably going to start being not used as much, but it has served me as a nice little daily for the last week or two. Bit pointless, as we kind of explained in our Q&A, but it has actually been really nice to get this car on the road. As you know, Owen drove it back from Loughborough and I drove Kelly back, and he's a really nice car. He's just obviously got his flaws where, as much as the previous owners looked after him, it's just obviously it's been battered a little bit, and it will be nice to get that all fixed up and get this old little boy looking his best again. So in case you are wondering, this is an early favourite, as I mentioned at the start of the video, and there are a few changes from the early favourites compared to the later ones which I have. So I've got Kelly, which is a 1995. I also have my Forum, which is a 1992, which kind of sits in the middle. So obviously with this car you get the different grille, so you get this grille with the badge off to the side instead, and you also get slightly different wheels. So when Volkswagen took over, they changed it to 4x100, and these are 4x98, which I mentioned in my Kelly video. I learned the hard way when I bought a set of these for Kelly. Obviously they were the wrong size, but that is what it is. Obviously being an LS, you get the style stripe down the side, which runs all the way down the side, which is quite a nice touch, I think. And then it's ever so slightly different on the back. So on the later cars you get a favourite badge here, and then you get the model make here. So instead you get a favourite and the model make, but no Skoda badge on the back. So I do think if people don't know what this is and it comes down the road, they do get a little bit confused, because you don't really see these anymore. On the earlier cars as well, you could only get these lights, whereas on the later ones, as you know with Kelly, I've got clearer lights on that instead now. And then the main changes are of course on the interior, I would say. So you obviously get the different dash. So the dash design is totally different on the later cars, as you may have seen already on Kelly. And you get the brown interior, which is gorgeous. I'm such a sucker for brown interiors. It's the reason I've changed Kelly's for a brown interior instead now. And you also get a totally different door design, which I love. So you get these pockets at the top, Skoda thing here, and this is the door handle. Very flimsy, but really cool. And another thing you also get on the interior is a sunroof. So Kelly and my Forum are both low spec, this is high spec. So you get a sunroof, which I really think is a cool design with the Skoda badge on there and everything. And obviously in this weather, it is a nice little treat to have the sunroof open. But yeah, that is just a quick walk around on my Skoda Favorit 136LS. I've owned this car for 2 months now, and I'm really happy with my purchase. Despite the car not really being in the condition I thought it was going to be in, I'm more than happy to take on a favourite, and as you all know, I love a favourite, so I'm more than happy to get this car restored and back into his former glory. Obviously, if you do like your Skoda favourites, then you're in the right place. At the moment, I've currently got 4, although 1 is for sale, and obviously you can watch all the videos we do on the Skoda favourites. I've got more videos coming with this car, as I say. We've got many parts to restore this now, so there'll be videos on that. There's videos on my Forum coming up, because we've had some big updates with that as well. And as always, there's updates with Kelly, because I'm always constantly changing Kelly, because she's kind of my modified car. Before I blab on too much, as I always manage to, thank you very much for watching the video. Obviously do like, comment and subscribe. We are hoping to get more content out now on all of our cars, so if you are interested in stuff like this, stick around because you're in the right place.